Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to talk about how you can get a shiny Salazzle, but only 66% of the time, unfortunately. So, getting a shiny Salazzle, there's a few problems. The first problem is that you can't catch Salazzle, you can only catch Salandit, and Salandit are only female 12.5% of the time. Another problem with Salandit is that they like to poison you, and so I'm going to solve that problem first. And I'm going to do so by using a Smeargle, because of course I am. So what I decided to do was to avoid being poisoned, I was going to intentionally burn myself. So I have my Talonflame learn Will-O-Wisp, which is a TM, and burn this Smeargle. Even if it missed, it was fine because all I need for Smeargle to do is sketch it. So now Smeargle knows Will-O-Wisp, and I'm going to send out my Sylveon. Sylveon has to be male, and it has to have its standard ability, Cute Charm, which changes the gender ratio to 66% opposite its gender, which is why you need a male Sylveon. Whichever Cute Charm Pokemon you use, doesn't have to be Sylveon, needs to be in the battle. Meaning we can't use a Smeargle or Recycle or Lepaberry or nothing like that. So once you've burned your Sylveon, and your Sylveon should be at a pretty decent level. There's a lot of reasons for this, but you're going to want to use moves with low base power because they have a ton of PP, because you're not going to have... I have no elixirs left or ethers left. I've been doing some shiny hunting, some hidden ability hunting, so I'm just out of those. And you're going to need some potions. I find hyper potions to be the most cost effective, so those are the ones I tend to use. And you also might want to go to the Polygo and plant a Lepaberry so you can get more Lepaberries. I have about, 15. That should be enough for this, because after 250 SOS encounters, the shiny chance increase resets. If you didn't know that, yeah, it's really annoying. It might be a little more than 250. It might be like 252 or something, but that is a feature I think is really terrible. Anyway, my Sylveon has, like I mentioned, low base power moves with a lot of PP, and I used all my PP ups and PP maxes because I actually wanted to get the Shiny Female Salandit. Unfortunately, Tackle does too much damage. If it did under half, I would just tackle again till it got into the red, and that would be like a false swipe. Then I could use an X attack, and then every time I use Tackle with an X attack, it would, I would know that on 17 and above Salandit, it most of the time won't faint them, and it'll take them to low HP. Unfortunately, mine's doing, because I'm at level 53, more than half. So I should just use an X attack and using it as a damaging move, which you're going to do anyway. Eventually, all your moves are going to be moves to KO the Salandit. You don't want to waste 2 moves each turn. You just don't have the PP for that. If you had Recycle, it would be fine. And in fact, with Pokebank coming out soon, you can have Recycle in a Lepaberry, and you can use Rest and Snore. This is a strategy I was going to use until I realized Snore is not a TM anymore. It hasn't been since Gen 2. So there I was checking whether Fairy Wind could also be used reliably as a move that wouldn't kill. Funny enough, once you go deeper into the SOS chain, with this particular Sylveon, for Salandit that were level 18 and above, it would stop KOing, because their IVs would just be better. Fairy Wind really shouldn't KO, I would think. It's double not very effective and 40 base power. And this Sylveon has, no investment in special attack. So what you can do if you're really having trouble, so, mine's at 3/4 health. That's not good enough. It's not going to call for help enough times. It's going to make this last forever. One easy way around this is just switch out. There's nothing saying you can't switch out to a Smeargle. Now, if a Salandit appears, it's going to have its standard, 87% male ratio. But what are the odds that the Salandit that would appear after switching in my Smeargle would be the shiny one, right? Of course, I'm going to get a comment that happened to someone. That's why I don't love to switch in Smeargle. But luckily, I actually got no help appeared, so I can switch in my Sylveon right away. I don't have to worry about missing any encounters. Luckily, throughout this shiny hunt, I was able to weaken Salandit with Tackle actually stopped doing enough damage, even with an X attack, funny enough, and Fairy Voice stopped KOing. So, having a mix of physical and special attacks, you can use X attacks and X special attacks to sort of do the right amount of damage. You don't have to swap up too frequently either. Salandit has 4 moves, and they have a fair number of PP. So you only need to swap up when necessary. Now, unfortunately, like the Beldum, I couldn't catch a shiny Salandit. It would just take way too long. So I just ran away from the battle, and that was it. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I know. I can't believe it. Honestly, I honestly can't believe I spent about 40 minutes. I said I was going to spend an hour. And it would be really cool if I could actually get a female Shiny Salandit on screen. And even if I got a male one, I laugh about how, I never get good luck. But this was insanely lucky. I mean, it was after like 60 SOS encounters. I actually was about to, run away and, go do something else. But yeah, like it just sometimes you get really lucky and sometimes you don't. Like I've read about people who've, gone through like 2,000 SOS encounters and it ended up being male. And it will be male 30% of the time, and there's nothing you can do about it. Breeding doesn't help either. I mean, it's a little quicker. Your ratio is better in terms of like getting a shiny Pokemon, but your ratio of male to female is way worse. So it's sort of a pick your poison. I don't know if the burn strategy is perfect also. It might just be faster to allow your Sylveon or whatever to get poisoned and simply just use like full restores. I thought this would be quicker. I thought, having to waste a turn using a full restore a lot of times would cost a lot of Poke money and would take up a lot of turns. And I thought this was quicker. But if you find the other method is quicker, go ahead. At the end of the day, whatever you find easiest, you should do, because you're going to be spending a lot of time trying to find this thing. And I really, really, really hope you do. And Game Freak couldn't have made this shiny hunt any more difficult if they tried. So if you finally get your female shiny Salandit, let me know. You should feel very proud of yourself. And yeah, best of luck. Take care.